All right, enough. Oh boy. All right. 3, 2, 1. Okay, first off, let me start by saying that this is sponsored by Miniature Market, who actually sent us this dragon, where you can get great games at great prices. And now that we have our opening all set, we are going to be painting. Let me get the box here, the top of it. This guy right here. The Fire Dragon from Arcadia Quest. Sorry, it got a little blurry there, but I just already set this thing right where I need it to be. We're trying a different angle so we can get a better view of what's going on. So this is the card for him. So as you can see, he's really a kind of a tough paint job here because of all the shading that you have to really do. So let's just take a look. Now, for time's sake, because we're trying to squeeze this all into one episode. Hello, everybody. Let me just start by saying that. I'm going to explain to you step by step what I've done so far. The first thing I did is I primed this guy entirely white. Okay? That seemed to work really, really well because what I wanted to do was take some Evil Sun Scarlet, which is a darker red. Let's see how that shows on camera. Okay, good. Unless I have to... Bear with me. It's always an adventure when we do things live. Until we get everything in focus. Alright, and then we can turn that down. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we took some Evil Sun Scarlet, and we covered his entire body red. From there, we took Ushabi Bone, okay, and we did all the bone area. So right in here, so if you look on this card here, and let me just dig that out here, all this area here, you can see it's a little darker, but we're gonna take care of that in a minute. His eye is basically yellow in some pictures, and in this picture it's almost kind of a tan. But if you were going to paint yellow, I always like to use Ushabi Bone underneath because it makes the yellow pop a little bit better. And then of course I just used the Ushabi to kind of set a base for his fingernails and his bone structure and his teeth. Then, what we did is after we covered everything in Ushabi Bone, his tail, which if you see on the card, has kind of a pink kind of thing going on here, but we decided to just use Emperor's Children to just go over that for right now. Okay, just as a base coat. So right now we just have base coats. So these three colors were our base coats. And then I took a Carlsberg Crimson and I just went over all the flesh to try to get some of the detail to stand out before we start dry brushing and highlighting this guy. Because that's what we want to do, is we want to darken him up so we can just bring him all the way out, hopefully. Now this is a very tough color to work with. So let's see how we do, huh? So now we get right to it. The next thing that I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to get this darkened up. And I want to get his eyes, I want to get this, and I want to get all this shaded because we're going to, again, bring it back out. But like I said, for time's sake, we try to save ourselves a little time by doing some of this off screen so we can fit this all into an hour so you guys can get a good idea of how to do this guy. Now I'm going to take some Agrath Earthshade. Okay, and let's just make sure that we have that. Okay, Agrath Earthshade. As you can see, just got an itch now. Oh, for crying out loud. Well, that's why we have paintbrushes. And since I'm almost at the end of this, Chantel, how are you? And what we're going to do is we are going to take care of that. Now, a couple things. If you are a subscriber to my channel, we will be announcing on Sunday the winner of the cosplay contest. Also, we will be doing on Sunday a live thing with our patron. The list is just about ready to at least be revealed, and we'll be adding things, and I'll explain everything as we go. But that's not what we're here for. We're doing this so we can get this perfectly put on our beloved channel, which is our painting for our miniature market. Now, what am I doing here? Okay, I'm really wanting to darken this all up. I will really want to bring out the highlights of this Ushabi bone. So I'm taking this Agrath Earthshade and I am going to work it all into his chest area, as you can see here. And what's happening here is we're getting some of that detail out. That's exactly what we want. We want the detail. So I've got to be able to take a look at it from an angle here so I don't fall off. Oh, there we go. Doesn't help if I put down my visor. And we're just taking and we are working this all the way around. We're going to do the same thing. And we're not worried about getting this on the red. Now, when we were doing the Carisberg wash, the red wash, we did not want to get that on our Ushabi bone, that's for sure. So we're just going to work this in here. We're not worried about getting this on here. All we're worried about, now we don't want to get it on the pink, we want to be a little bit careful there, if we can. And we're just going to work a little into the jaw area. There we go, into his eye, because he has a little point there in the eye. And I wanted to get around the eye because what I'm going to do is I am going to shade that outwards. So we're going to build outwards, but getting the shade around is always good. So we're going to get this into here and in the back here. And forgive my hands for getting in front of you, but this is the best way I can get the lighting in here so you guys can see things a little bit better. Again, let's take a look at that eye. I'm just using up what I have left here. There we go. I just want that to work in there. I'm not worried about how dark it gets and stuff like that. And we're going to go over these here. And you can use any brush you want. It doesn't affect because we've already got that red wash in there, so we're not worried about it too much. And all we're doing is just working all these areas. You can see there's an area there that we want to take care of. And we want to spread this around so it dries pretty quickly. So I'm going to work this in here like so. Watching out for the pink there. Now, let's turn him up on his side here. And we'll just work that underneath here. As you can see, that's all just where he stands, so I'm not worried about that too much. If we wanted to be cute, we could do that. But we're not going to. Because after all we're worried about is just making sure that this all stands out. And you watch how I am a little careful over here because I don't want to hit. I don't want to catch that. I don't mind hitting the jawline here, but I don't want to hit that pink. Alright, there we go. Get underneath those claws. And we want to move it around because we don't want it to pool up because it'll take forever to dry, and we don't have forever, or else we're going to have to do a part 2. And we don't want to do a part 2. I don't want to do a part 2. Alright. I got a little on my hands because I went a little too thick with it. Now I'm just going to move it around. Really going to just really Moving around. And I'm watching where I go on the pink. It's alright if I get it on there. It's not the end of the world. Nothing's the end of the world that you can't fix. And we'll go over and we'll talk a little bit more about what we've done here. So let's move this around a little bit. Because we don't want it to pool up. Not at all. See, it's starting to pool there. That's alright. And I'm just going to move my brush around and move it all over him so he dries pretty quickly. And there we go. And just, there we go. And I see by just moving this around, it's drying a lot quicker. It's constantly just working it around into certain areas. Hey Rick, working on this game right now. Took tons of minis. Okay. I'll answer all your comments in a moment. And I'll say hi to people in a moment. And we'll go from there. How's that? All right. And I don't know why my nose is running so badly today. All right. And all we're doing, and you see we just darkened him up pretty quickly. And that's pretty much what we want to do. Now we're just going to let him dry a little bit. But there's a couple things that we can do while he's drying, pretty much. And while all those girls are arguing on the phone, on the TV. God, my wife loves those housewives. Now, as you can see, we are just really just working this in here. And you can see how darkened up this really is right now. And I'm going to take and move. And again, I'm moving this brush trying to help this dry a little bit quicker so we can get on to our next stages. And forgive my hand for getting in the way. What are you getting, MC? Lots of paint. Okay, there we go. And we are taking care of that. And there we go. Exactly that's the kind of bone. Now we have that kind of nice bone texture to him. And just by taking some Agrath Earthshade and some Ushabi bone, just by doing that, we've got this like nice bone texture to him. So it's like he has scale on him. And that's exactly what we were going for. And in his eyes, and we got a little outline around the mouth, which is kind of nice. So we're going to wash this brush out. We're going to make sure that nothing here is puddled up. As you can see, I'm really working my brush around, making sure that this gets pushed around real well so we don't have those puddle areas. And I really want this to kind of stand out. All right. I'm going to turn him again. All right, there we go. And that's exactly what we are going for now. So it looks pretty grimy right now, but we'll get there. We'll get there. All right, Mr. Lockwood, how are you? Mass Coyote, how are you? Awesome, Rick. Sent an order today, MC. I've got Battletech Alpha Strike coming along with Mugla Invaders and some more paints. Yeah, don't forget that Mugla Invaders, you have to the 21st to submit any pictures that you have. I've already gotten some in, and boy, do I got some doozies. And let me tell you, the prizes are huge. If you didn't get into the whatchamacallit contest, the cosplay contest, we're giving away a $200 gift certificate for the winner of that. So you can imagine, just for a cosplay contest, what are we going to give away for whatchamacallit? I mean, for the for the Mugula contest. I'm going to tell you that it's going to be 3 figures at least, maybe more. But you guys have to get a copy and paint it. All right. Well, you see now with this nice and dry, this brush dry, we can take. We could just kind of go over a little bit here and just make sure that we're good and getting dry quickly, because that's the thing that we're really trying to accomplish here, is to get this all done within an hour. An hour and change. There you go. I need to send you pictures I took of my daughter holding my board games. Oh, well, that's cool. Send that. Hi, Jason. Hello. I have the mouse. So let's see what's going on here. All right. So as you can see, we got him pretty dark here. Now this is the tricky part. Doing the base coat is really, really easy because it's just a lot of shades and everything like that. It's just now, how do you work out from that? Okay? And that's what we're going to be working on very soon. And it's going to be a lot of dry brush. Is the washer on? Yes. Okay. Now, one of the things that we're going to work on is this tail here while we're waiting for this to dry a little bit more, and his tongue. Now, there's that's Emperor's Children, but we have one that's a little bit lighter that we're going to try to work our way out with, and that's Changeling Paint. Now, what is this? Okay, let me get it where we can see it. Okay, there. This is a dry paint. And it says dry on it. It's a Citadel. And let's open it up and take a look at it. And you can see it looks like a big rubber ball in there. So all we're going to do is we're going to take a little junk brush here. Let's pick one out here. Yeah, that's about as good as anything. Alright, about this size. And I'm just going to kind of work my brush in here a bit. Just brush that I don't care about too much. I'll work my way into this here, and you can see it's not easy to get in here. Matter of fact, sometimes I just have to move it around a little bit. Make sure I'm getting these dry very quickly. Alright, there we go. So now I'm going to make sure, okay, that's what I want. And I'm just going to kind of take this and start working it over. Just a little bit. And then I'm going to close this up. I'm actually going to go to a Terminus Stone, maybe. Or maybe I should go even lighter than that. There we go. And Terminus Stone is the same thing. It's a dry color. And it's not going to do what I want it to do just by looking at the color. Terminus Stone would be good for what we're trying to do here eventually. But right now, I've got to go and take a look and see what I got here. Let's see. No, that may not be it. I know I have like a very white type of dry paint that I want to put over it. And I'll tell you as soon as I find it. How's that? Screaming Skull, that's a layer paint. We're looking for a dry paint. Maybe if I just push this out a little bit, so just bear with me. There we go. And we open up the big container here, see what we have in here. That's a base ceramic white. Not well looking. Ah, there we go. That's what I'm looking for. Just took me a little bit to find it. This is a Longbeard Gray. I just want to use this, just a little bit of it. And I get a big glob of it on my paint. It's a dry paint, but when I take it off here, it's going to do exactly what I want it to do. And that's just kind of, and I'm going to show you from this angle here. And let's take a little bit more off. All we're trying to do is just kind of guide over that pink a little bit. And just add a little layer there. Add another dimension to it. You see, I'm not pushing my brush hard. I'm not rushing. I'm not doing anything. I'm laying it a little thicker on the edge here. And it probably doesn't translate that well on there. Mix the pink with a little Ushabi to lighten up a bit. Well, no, Laurie, I'd like to do it my way. I'm going to lighten the bone up a bit. But what I'm trying to do here is I just want the tip to have that kind of grayish, because that's the way it shows on the thing. But that's a good idea, Lori, for a lot of things. Alright. What I'm trying to do is just give like a shadow here that'll work with the pink. And that's all I want. Not looking to overpower it, not looking to do too much with it. Had a hard time with the primer. I used a white primer I didn't like. And just didn't work for me. So you see, this is where you can take your time and work here. You see how now all of a sudden that has a different texture to it, kind of working that grayish, that pinkish gray in there. Now I'm not going to get it exactly the way that is unless I really work here on the outsides a bit, which I could if I wanted to. I think I can really sell that outside thing a little bit. Mix the pink with a little shabby on the light. Yeah, that could do that. That's not what I want. I'm trying to accomplish here. See, I could just kind of work a little heavier on the edge here. And work on a little bit on that edge here. I'm actually looking at the camera more than I am myself. It was Rust-Oleum. It just went on funny, and it stayed wet a very long time, and it kind of set me back a little bit. So I was a little worried about being able to get this done today. But hey, that's the way the ball bounces, right? By the way, Lori, thank you. We got a wonderful letter from Camp Holiday. You're another one I have to thank for those DVDs. And they were just so thrilled. We got a beautiful letter from them. I'll read it on Sunday. We have so much to update on Sunday. Right now, we're just concentrating on games. Now, just to give you an idea of how dark that pink was. And again, just for ahas, we're going to do this side. Nobody will see it, but I will. And that's all we're trying to do, is just sell a little bit of that lineage and work in here a little bit while this guy dries. See, I can see it right there. I need to move that around so it dries real good, or else we're going to run into problems later on. There we go. Come on, buddy. Hold on here. So I always keep this other brush around, because if I see something not drying quickly,
we can move. This brush is nice and dry, and we can move that wash around if you see it puddle, because sometimes you can't see it all the time. And there we go. I'm not worried about his eye because we're going to change that color on that. And that's what we're going to do. All right. Okay, there we go. Now, oh weird. I found a black car primer. Are amazing. Oh weird. Did anyone buy Moogla Invaders just for the contest? The shipping is rough for me. Would anyone be okay with selling 31 figures? Okay, the shipping. I'll tell you what, Leland, you're doing those business cards for me, so I'll get one out to you. I'll get one out for you. And I'll make sure that it comes plenty of time so you can work on it. That'll make you and I even. Alright, see, I'm going to go a little heavier here. Just because I want to sell that a little bit more. There we go. Alright, now the next thing I want to do is I just want to take this and work the inside of this mouth a little bit, or the tip of the mouth. Tip of the tongue. There we go. And just work the very tip of that tongue. If I don't like it, I can always go back over it with a little more pink. Alright. There we go. Alright, let's give this a few seconds to dry, and then we'll take some... Well, actually, we can do a couple things in the meantime. You know how I like to keep in perpetual motion. Let me see if I missed any questions. Moderators, if you see any questions, I'm going to look to you guys and you can forward them. Let's see. Right now. Think. And, okay, so we're doing pretty good. All right, great. What is that, Rob? Too kind as always. I've never tried them, but okay. So now what we're going to do is, he has two metal plates here. So we're just going to get our old favorite here. If I can find it, because I'm kind of out of whack here. No, that's not it. Well, we're going to wait on that because we do have to go over this a bit, and going over that plate would maybe mess things up. But then again, we're brave. We can take our time. We don't have to rush. Now, if I can find the color that I'm looking for, and what color would that be? Anybody that watches me knows that we always go for our lead belcher. It's always lead belcher. Our friend amongst friends. Question: who is moving the laundry to the dryer? It is the queen of all things. And when she decides to do laundry, well, too bad for the stream.
I have to do laundry because somebody brings me home an entire week's worth of smelly gym clothes.
Well, this is gonna look great up on Miniature Market. Somebody's gonna go, oh, I want to learn how to paint. But instead, you learn that I bring smelly laundry home. All right, so what we're gonna do here, very carefully, is he has two metal plates here. And I just want to make sure I got a good grip on the old guy here. And we're just gonna just head in there and just very lightly go over there. That's one plate. And then our second plate, which is right here. And we'll highlight that, and we'll actually put a little wash over too, so I'm not too worried about it. We're just getting it on there so it'll dry. There we go. Perfect. Now we're going to be a little bit more careful going forward. So we're going to have to really be smart in what we do here, because the next color that we kind of want to start backing this guy up on is to more of an orangey kind of color, and then work him out to a little bit of a lighter orange. So while we got him pretty much colored a certain way, we do want to kind of try to get a little bit of that orange in there. So we have to do this very, very lightly, and I mean hardly any paint on the brush. This is where you can really ruin this. Let's see here. They're pricey, but people swear by them. Okay, I'm not missing anything. Alright, so I'm just tightening up my headpiece here. So I've got this, but I'm going to check and see if I have something maybe just a little bit darker to work our way out with. And I got this great toolbox that I got for all my paints, and I do love Citadel paints very, very much. Maybe we can go that into that. No, I don't think that'll do it. I'm always trying to imagine in my head how this will all turn out. Now, one color I know that, whoops, cracked him right in the head. We're going to need that, and we're going to need that, so I might as well just take those out right now. And don't think I'm going to need that. I may need that. I may need that. I know I'm not going to need this. A little bit of ceramic white never hurt nobody. And let's just get some more colors out here. Just so we can just kind of start visualizing. Sometimes you could just take the thing like Troll Slayer Orange. That's a good color to bring out just in case, because you want to fade him out a bit. You have to be very, very careful, because this can go from bad to worse in a matter of seconds. And what day would it be without the dogs drinking some water? Maybe a little pink horror. Fire Dragon Bright. And I think that's kind of right where we want to be. Alright. So now, what brush do we use? We want to be able to cover the area pretty quickly. But we really kind of want to also be able to make sure that we don't make too many mistakes, because we want to have complete control here. And that's what the most important thing is, having good control. Alright, especially when we're building outwards. So we want something with a nice sharp edge, but not too wide. Oh, there you go. I think this would be pretty good for what we're attempting to do here. Alright. And we want to be very careful with this. So we're going to start with the Wild Rider Red first. And we're going to go very, very light with this. What we're going to try to do is bring and build outwards with this guy. Now, I could be wrong, but he does have this kind of tinge that works into this. So we're going to work with him. It's going to work into that, which is going to work into the higher points, which is that. So these three colors are going to go on in a certain order. So we're going to go very, very, very light here, very even lighter here, but just kind of edge things with this. So there we go. So I think that's what we're going to do. And I'm going to put this card right here so I don't lose focus on what I'm trying to accomplish here. So the first thing is to get good hand on this. And shake that up real good. And kind of work our way around here.
Let's move that page so I can see everything. There we go. All right. And we're going to get it on here really good. But we really want to take it off pretty quickly. I want it to be on there good, but I want it to come off. And I really don't want a lot of it on, because I want this to dry pretty quickly. So what I can do here is underneath there's a little area that I don't care about. There you go. And it just kind of, all I'm doing is just going over the, because I don't want this to kind of turn into a big mosh. Just very lightly. You're not really going to be able to see too much of it on the camera, I don't think. Now if we were doing this in 4K, yeah. But I don't want this to look as, messy. Just want to touch the higher areas of his scales ever so lightly. So I'm just going to use what I have on here. I'm going to be very, very, very careful with this, because you can go from bad to bad real quick. And all you're doing is just dragging this brush very lightly, just like a feather. Easy. Nice and easy. And just high enough where we're not taking that wash out. We don't want to take that wash out. I do want to kind of blend this in here. See how that starts to work out? And blending it in and out. Everything's in and outward. This is where just taking your time sometimes and not painting for speed pays off. Because you can run into a lot of things that you don't want to run into here. Just nice and easy. Don't worry about it overpowering or being able to see much of it, because this is not the color that you're really working to get. You're trying to lighten that scale up. See how that scale's starting to come out? See, I can go over the top here of this scale, and it's starting to come out a little bit. And that's a perfect area to kind of show you what I'm trying to accomplish here. Now I missed a little bit with the wash here, but we'll make up for that. Show you that not everybody can do things perfectly, huh? So I may have to rewash that area and just kind of go over things a little bit, but that's all right. Okay. And it's okay. We're going to work our way here. I'm just going to pick this up for a minute. I just want to... And all I'm doing is just working this brush in here. Working that scale. And we're going to go over here a bit. And I think we just need a little bit more of that Wild Rider red. The devil is in the detail. Yeah, it sure is. Whew. And there we go. Take a little bit more. Work it into that one spot there.
just lightly. Nice and light. Careful around the fingers. We don't want to get it on that area. It's just taking our time. And work that into there. Over the top here. And just making sure I don't, well, it's better to have too little on the brush than too much on the brush. There we go. And just going over those edges. And then we're just gonna make sure his nose is not dry. Alright. And over the top here, we want to be very careful here. This is critical right here. Making sure that we hit the bridge of his face. And again. There we go. Just around the jaw, we want to be careful. Not worried about getting the teeth or anything like that because we're going to go over those teeth anyways. But just taking our time and working. Now it's stuck in my head. What's stuck in your head? Oh, the devil went down to George. No, I didn't do it. I wasn't the one that was singing. Na, 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 na. Alright. Alright. And that elbow. Maybe just a little bit more, huh? One more scoop. Alright. Alright. Just looking around here. Just trying to get everything evened out a bit. Alright. And you can see where it's starting to work for his face a bit. I really pulled the color out. Looks like practically volcanic with that orange. Yeah, it's getting there. I have no one to blame but my... Poor Jason, he can't catch a break. Good to see everybody here today. Those of you that are here, I know we don't stream to a lot of people anymore, but that's okay. This is always going to be here. That's the reason we do these. And you could see, watch this on Miniature Market's Review Corner in my painting segments. Which, now you see, I'm just kind of going over again, and you can see where it's kind of starting to work its way in a bit. Alright. Kind of kayfabing a bit here. Making... Yeah, see, I think I need just a bit more. I'm really trying to get it balanced. So once you have... Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. That would be the wrong color there, big boy. There we go. All right. I did not tweet out that I was doing this. I guess I was supposed to tweet. I don't know anymore. Tomorrow we're doing 1754. For those of you that are interested in me and Mike playing a few things. And just nice, light. And easy, just being controlled, not worrying about things. And the old saying, yeah, exactly, Gabby. If it goes wrong, it goes wrong. We can always fix it. We can always just throw another wash over it and just build out. That's the way it works. That's the way it sometimes works. There we go. All right. Robert, thank you very much for the smart chat there. I really appreciate it, my friend. I didn't even see that you were here. Ugh. Oh boy, oh boy. We were just painting away. So how many mini holics are going in on Zombicide Green Horde? You know, that's part of the patron too. If you are at the $25 level, I will paint that for you when it comes out next year. It's one of the things I added in. Zombie orcs, how can you go wrong? Alright, so we are going to be done with our Wild Rider Red, which means that we're going to move to our Troll Slayer Orange. Now this we got to be really, really careful with. This can really, really be dangerous. Let me just take this off for a second because my head is actually sweating a bit. Because we're trying to work our way out, but we're trying not to lose any of that color. I'm working on my 3D printer while listening to you paint, sir. Dragon looks good. Thank you very much. I have no desire to participate. Not my type of game, Lori says. Lori likes all types of games, though, I thought. Matter of fact, Lori, because of you, I asked Mike to do a review on Mythopia. So, there you go. You see, we do listen. Right, I want to go a little bit bigger because I felt I had pretty good control there. So I want to just go something a hair wider. And it's something that I can maybe speed up this process with. Because I felt pretty confident. You know, you can tell when your hands are good and not. Okay, like this one here. I like this. Dennis, how are you? Sith Knight. I do. Hell, you guys got me considering war games. Well, check one out tomorrow. We're going to be doing a couple things I think you'll like to see, Lori. The best thing about some of the war games that we do is they do have a solitaire. Oh my god, this is dried up. Oh, that's a bummer. My Troll Slayer Orange is kaput. Wow. Well, that kind of ruins things. Well, I think I have another one. That's why I buy multiple paints. gotta be kidding me. That's done, that's done. Ouch. Well, when in doubt. When in doubt. Pull out your army builder paint. Yeah, he's getting there, but he's gonna need a little love, that's for sure. Let's pour this on here. We're gonna go with a lava orange right here, Army Builder Painter, because my Troll Slayer orange is completely dried out. I don't know how that happened. Alright, perfect. There we go. And then easily, this is a color, this is that in-between color that I was talking about, that if you are not careful with this, it could just look like a big blobby mess. So you've got to be very, very smart with this type of color. You've got to make sure that it goes on so lightly. So lightly. All it's supposed to do is just touch that rock a little bit, or that scale, excuse me. That's all we're looking to do. Nice and easy. See what we're getting there? Nice and easy. We're not trying to really blow this up a lot. Again, being very careful. And we want it to sit on top nicely. You don't want it to overpower the other colors. If it does, you've got a real problem. So you really kind of, again, it's all about you and the brush. It's all about you and your manipulation with the brush. So who wants to see me arm wrestle Rob for charity? My only stipulation is that I get to use someone else's arm. Well, I'll let you use two. I'll make a deal with you. How about we have a bench press competition. Whatever you guys got to do, I do double. And it'll all go to charity. So if somebody does 200, I'll do 400. If one of you He-Men out there can do 300, I'll do 600. Alright, let's see. Now you see how this is working now? See how this all blends in now? See what we're doing? See, I gotta be careful, because I can still mess this up. So you wanna, nice and easy. We're in no rush, no hurry. We're taking our time, and we're just going over. And it's starting to come together. It's starting to make sense now. And I think you'll really see it on the face more than you'll see it here. Matter of fact, I'm glad I used this lava instead of that other color. When in doubt, just wipe it off. There you go. Nice and easy. It's kind of like just like a feather. Just think very lightly. Like your wife is sleeping in the morning and you're trying to get your keys very quietly. Nice and easy off the table. So they don't clink. It's the same kind of thought that you have to have with this brush. Nice and easy. Dennis, thank you so much. That's very kind of you for the super chat. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. 300. I'm only 185. At most, I could bench is 295. Okay, then I guess I got to do 590. Now, how many times do I got to do 590? Thank you, Dennis. I really appreciate that. It's going to help with something that we're going to do this Sunday. We didn't do too well in the patron, but I've already decided where the patron money, all the patron money is actually going to go. I got a letter the other day. I will read it to you on Sunday. It's hard enough for me to even talk about it than to actually get into it right now, especially when I'm painting. I just don't want my hands to get all shaky. But we'll do everything that we can. That's all I can tell you. All the matter of fact, I will also talk about the drawing this month and all that other stuff. We've got a lot of exciting things going on, as you know, especially since we are sponsored by the great and powerful Miniature Market. My good friends there. I'm curious, Rob, what is your deadlift amount, if you don't mind me asking? I put you on the spot. I haven't lifted in forever due to a chest injury. Oh, I'm sorry about that. I will say that I almost went into Green Horde when I saw the Prince figure. It was close thing. Atta girl, Lori. My deadlift, the last deadlift I did, or in competition, was 780? No, I'm sorry on that. It was actually lower. It was 770. Thinking that was my deadlift, and that was my last lift. So I don't know what my max is, and I really didn't. You know, my wife doesn't really want me, especially at this age, doing that too much more. So I think our breaking of powerlifting records are done for a while. It's time to just concentrate on the things that we really enjoy, and that's spending time with you guys. No matter how many of you watching, there could be 2, there could be 28, there could be 50, there could be 100. Like I said, we just treat this like one big family. We do our best to really make this count. Alright, let's just be very careful here. You see how this is going in there? You see what we're getting? Do you see the look? Do you see what we're getting? Really, just taking our time, just working that brush, letting that brush do the work. Got a little paint on the upper part. That can be a problem, but we'll wash this brush later. What do you think, Gab? Yeah, Gabby likes it. So, if Gabby likes it, then it's pretty good. So now we take that brush and we go a little sideways here, a little sideways there, so we don't catch those horns. I thought I could do this all in an hour, but we may have to go into overtime for next week. Or we just might run this 2 hours. What the heck? What time is it? Maybe. Maybe to achieve what we want to achieve here. Alright. I know I just didn't want to get too far ahead of you guys, because I really want to make sure that you learn something and see it live and see me goof up. And you know, when I goof up, you know, I don't pre-tape everything like a lot of people do and put it all to music. Not that I care, you know, I'm not in competition with everybody. My whole thing is to show you that I make mistakes as much as anybody, but when I get on a groove, that you can do this live and really just get a great result. You see what I'm doing? I'm just I'm very careful what I do. I have a nice big enough brush. Just hitting areas as I see fit. The side of his face here. Very careful in here. Very careful. Oh, sorry, I got out of range there. All right. What was your competition bench and squat? Squat was 720, which wasn't great. It's hard to go, get your. I had 7. That's the one I had 780, but my hips did not go past my kneecaps, so they say. I thought I was down low enough, but I got pulled on that. So my last lift was the only good lift that I had, and that was 7 change. Then my bench was 5. Now that wasn't my max, but it's what I did competition wise that I felt comfortable with, was 590. Oops. And I felt I could have done that twice. And you see, I goofed up here. I got a little bit too much in here, so I've got to make sure that when I go with the next color that I kind of hide that, because that's the mistake right there. That's one of those mistakes I was telling you about. And what happened here is I got a little bit much on here, and it kind of looks smudgy to me. So that's where we got to kind of work our thing here, not worry about it. We'll come back to it, and we'll fix it. All right. Working in here, working that hand there. There we go. And you can see the difference in the arms. I gotta pull this back up a little bit. There we go. Let's see. Just got done watching Pumping Iron the other day. Sometimes you can learn more from watching someone paint in real time. How did Bob Ross put it? There's no mistakes, only happy. Yeah, well, yeah. Problem is, he can adjust. I can't. I gotta go back over. Hey Rob, the dragon looking awesome, by the way. Thank you. I'm good, thank you. Love Bob Ross. Watched him as a kid all the time. Yes, we did. All right. We're trying to make sure that we don't have too much of this, because we're coming up into that facial area here, and this is where it really got to count. This is where we don't want a lot of this on here, because you see how that starts to bring his face out. See how just rubbing it across. Now I got a little on his tooth there, but that's not a big deal on the edge of that tooth. All right. I think we can come pretty close to being done with this guy, to be honest with you, tonight. And just work that in there. You can see how I'm getting a little bit. Now I'm trying to push my brush into these edges of the face. All right, sorry, I went off camera there. Matter of fact, let me pull up my thing here, and that'll autofocus. There we go. Okay, see how I'm starting to push my brush here? Trying to really try to catch some of those edges. See how that's starting to pull out a little bit? That's where this key part of just taking them. Now you can go hard with your brush. And right into the side of his face. Not worried about the eye, because we're going to fix those eyes. Take a little bit more here. Work it right off. Oops. Alright. And remember, just nice and easy with that brush. Let that brush do all the work. You just guide it. You tell it where to go. Alright. And that's what we're looking for, huh, guys? Pretty good, huh? Not bad. I'll see you, Jason. I'm sorry. Okay, find my friend to make dinner and then paint. See you, everyone. Hey, Rob, you got any favorite Arcadia Quest heroes you prefer to play? Not really. I think Janice does, though. I think we're going to do something with that eventually after we do Dungeon Saga. We're going to go back to that, and we should have everything painted up by then. And I think we're going to do the whole campaign, because I think the campaign works better with 3 people. And I think with Mike, it'll be a lot more fun, because then Janice really has somebody to give her a good challenge. Because Mike doesn't fear Janice. Then again, neither do I, but we want to make sure that she just doesn't walk all over everybody. Okay, so let's clean this off. Let's fold this up a little bit. There we go. Wipe that up. And you can see we're starting to get where we want to get with this guy. And I'm going to clean off this brush again. Alright. I'll make sure this brush is really, really dry, because now we're going to go right into the fire, which is just a lot lighter. Gotta be really, really, really careful. Are you guys going to do more Gloomhaven or Legends of Andor? Yes, we are. It is so hard trying to get everything into alignment nowadays, but we're doing all right. We're getting there. So, you see how light this is? You got to be real careful. You got to be super, super careful with this, because this could ruin your whole model if you do it wrong. I really mean that. So, we're going to get a good glob of it. We're going to come over here. We're just going to work it into that brush. We're going to work it as much into that brush and off that brush as we possibly can. You can see how this is a very tough color. And we'll test on the bottom of our model here. Okay. And kind of want to just make sure very, very, very light. Very, 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 very lightly. Work. Just enough. Just enough. Just over the top a little bit. Not too much. And we have to just touch some of those high point areas. And just really kind of get that so it just sits on top there. And there we go. Don't want it to overpower anything. Don't want it to take any of the other colors out, even though it's a lighter color. But we're just very, very, very lightly touching this. Oops. See? I just killed that a little bit. Didn't take enough of it off. If you just get too much on there, you can really ruin this. And that's where you got to be careful. These reds are very, very tough to work with. Oranges. Because they can really kind of lose everything here. Alright, thank you, Lori. How's everybody doing tonight? It's been a while since I caught a live show. Well, we're glad you're here, Jesse. And we are working here, in, and out. And that's all we really want to do with this particular color. And just there we go. There we go. Work in there. A little bit in there. All right. That's all I want to do with that. Pacer, eh? Does it resemble Shenlong a bit? I think it's the antlers. Oh, possibly. All right. If I really want to, I can try to highlight a little bit of that yellow into that area there. I'm a little nervous about it. That's why I think we'll stay away from that for now. But we're going to take the Year Yellow, and what we're going to do is we're going to go into his eyes a bit. So we're just going to take a little bit of this. Actually, I probably want to use something smaller. Yeah, I want to use something I feel a little more confident with. So I'm going to go, remember, big area, you know, decent size area, but small brush makes it really, it'll give you the illusion that you are painting a big area, and it helps you connect more. So we're just going to go in here, and we're just going to kind of just and that's how you get his eye in there. No, just very easily. There we go. It's one side. And then we kind of want to go on the other side here. Now this is just a base that we're going to put on here, as we are going to put an even lighter color of yellow in there. So now he's got that nasty little bit of yellow look. Now, while I got this off here, I just wonder how this will highlight on here a bit. I'm kind of just hitting a couple edges here. Oh, there you guys are. Yeah. But I can always go over it and fix it if I don't like it. I'm just taking this small brush and kind of just playing around with some of these higher points. Just hitting these edges with that, a little bit of that yellow. Just trying to bring that out a little bit more. She's alright. Alright. And you can see how that kind of comes together a bit. Alright. What's next here? Well, he's got those teeth, so we kind of want to take a little bit of this ceramic white, but very easy on the ceramic white. Because he's, from the picture, yeah, because those are pretty white areas, but I wonder if we just go over with just a hair of that gray, with that dry brush, with a long beard. I think that'll be a little more effective. If I don't like it, I can always just paint Ushabi over it and do it again. So I think that's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to take a different size brush. Use something around this area. And kind of want to leave that like that, but maybe I kind of want to just dry brush a little Ushabi bone over the bone areas a little bit more. But his claws, I want them to stand out a little bit. So we're going to give this a shot. We're going to see how this looks, especially with his teeth. That's one way to do it. And kind of no, I don't like it. I don't like it. I think I definitely have to go with the base ceramic white. Especially since he's kind of cartoony. So we're going to shake this up real good. All right. Let's see here. Alright, so let's see if we can get this. There we go. Alright, let's take this off a little bit. Alright, there we go. Yeah, let's just be very careful on how we do this. Kinda. It's just giving that a little bit more of the edge there. And we're not giving it a totally white look. We are kind of fading it in there with the Ushabi. a bit. And that's kind of working for me a little bit. Kind of like that. Let's see if I can get a little bit more on here. All right. There we go. And just kind of fading it in there. I'm taking all that off. I'm giving that a little bit of a more kind of, there we go. And there we go. A little bit better. All right. Now, what I want to do is get that little brush I had. There we go. Maybe just, if I can find it. I'll take a little bit of white scar. There's teeth. Don't worry about the rest of this bone. I've got to play around with the bone on him a little bit. Right now I'm more worried about the teeth and just being able to make that stand out. Just go over just a hair. There we go. You see how his teeth are coming in? Okay. Just want to catch those right there at the top. There we go. All right. Same thing here. Again, he's kind of cartoony, so we'll give him the white teeth because he eats well, right? He's got that nice pink tongue he's working on. No, that's not going to work. I'm trying to think. There's Andrew dust. Clean this off a bit. Now what we want to do, what happened there? Did I catch them? Oh no, it's just the light hitting it. Watching Rob while painting a little myself. There you go.
Hey, Board Game Theater. My boy Kevin. What did I miss? I've been so busy I feel like I missed a bunch. You missed everything, dude. Mighty Berkey. Alright. So we're going to take our bigger brush again. And all we're going to do is we're going to take that original color, which is that Ushabi bone. And we're going to completely take it off this brush. Then, just going to kind of touch over those bone areas that we put all that wash over. And just have those kind of now sell themselves by just nice and easily going over them with that color. And you can see it kind of highlights itself a little bit. Now I think you should do this with a smaller brush, especially over here. But I seem to have a good feel tonight, so that's what I'm going to go with. See how that, just bringing that in there, kind of helps that out a little bit. But I feel pretty good with this brush, though. Now the real key part here is getting this shabby bone, get a little bit more on here, and trying to do this middle section here. This has got to, you can ruin this real quick. So you got to have very little on your brush. It's better to have too little than too much. I just wanted to get more on the paper. And all I want to do is, like I said, turn them over. It's got that flat spot, so, oh, see, I got too much on there. So now, kind of starting here. Kind of want to start to bring that back a bit. Kind of want to bring that color back now. See what I'm doing there? I'm leaving that dark underneath, but I'm just taking and really starting to bring that color back without losing the highlight. There we go. Very lightly, guys, very lightly. You control the brush. Working that underneath. Working that underneath. There we go. And just working that underneath. So it's not as dark. But you got that nice, it looks like he has all bone in over here. You're not letting one color dominate. And we just slide that into there. There we go. Look at that. Even though you can't see that, you still shade it there anyways. There we go. And that's all we're trying to do here. Keep things nice and simple. This is just a simple way to do this dragon. It's a little time consuming because he's a little more colorful than the other things. You want to take this
shabby bone a little bit. Go over that white just a hair. Into the antler. Just a little bit. Underneath the neck there. There we go. Got that. Clean that up right in that corner there. Oh, I don't think this guy looks half bad, if you ask me. That's a quick beginner job that you can do in about, well, I say about 2 hours, not even. And we took our time. Hi Rob, hi everyone, stop by. Oh, Miss Rhonda's here, how are you? Alright, so, I mean, exactly what we want. Now, if we really want to, we could take just a little new oil, put that over the metallic there. There we go. Just so that silver just doesn't stand out there. There we go. And then you can go over that once it dries with a Rune Fang steel. Just dry brush over that, let that dry. And if you really must, let's see if I can find a little here. I'm sure I could. You can go a little bit lighter in the eye, in the inner eye, with some flash gits, and then just dot each eye black. Matter of fact, that's what we'll do. We'll go and we'll take a little bit more of this yellow. This is a lighter yellow. And all we're going to do here is just hit that inner part of the eye, leaving some of that other yellow underneath. And just kind of blend them in a bit. There we go. You don't want to cover the whole thing. You want to cover most of it. But you want to leave the different shades of yellow in there. And then just dot the eye. There's a little mark on these that you can actually just take a little bit of black and dot the eye. And there you go. You see the tail? We have a nice fade on the tail. You know, it's pretty close. And here's the card. And here's our guy. I mean, that's not half bad. We have to be careful because, you know, they want to sucker you in to try to use those yellows. But if you really put too much of that yellow, you may lose it. Especially being a beginner, we don't want you to do that. Hey Rob, do you want me to bring some Nutella oil to Origins and touch up my Viking chieftain badge Gabby made on my spoils? Yeah, I'll take care of it. Yep, do it and I'll take care of it for you there. I will definitely take care of it there for you. And then I got to talk to you tomorrow at some point because we're just about done with a couple projects that we had done for you. All right, so, you know, pretty much that's where we're at with this. I don't think that's bad. We got the tail kind of the way we want it. You see how we worked that gray in with that pink. The underbelly, yeah, no, it's not. We didn't make it golden, but I like the bone look a little bit better. And as you can see, we're really working. We have the good tongue and everything else that we need to do, and I think that's pretty close if you ask me. And not bad. So there you have it. That's how you paint that dragon. So let's go over it again to make sure that everybody understands. We go Evil Sun Scarlet. Okay, we paint the whole thing. We use a Ushabi bone for the bone areas. Then what we do is we start to build, we take a Carricksburg crimson, and we decided to get that all in the red so we get that nice detail on the inside, so that really works, so that wash goes in there, and you get what you're getting up top here. Then we started to build out. Okay, we also then took a Agrath Earth shade, and we put that all over all the Ushabi bone areas. We use the lead belcher for our silver parts, which are very minimal. And then we built out, and because my Troll Slayer I went with a lava orange for Army Painter, but I used 3 different shades of orange to kind of work that red into a different type of layer, and we built out with it. Okay, and just taking our time, and you saw it was pretty quick, and it's a lot of fun because it's a big model, and you could take a little bit more time with it. We used a Longbeard Gray dry brush to kind of go over some of the higher points to make sure that we have that kind of cartoony kind of claws that work with them. And then we shaded over an Emperor's Children, which we used for the tail. We also used the Longbeard Gray. Then we took our white scar and just kind of touched up some of the teeth and some of the other area. We also took our Emperor's Children for the tongue, and we used a little bit of the Longbeard Gray to highlight the tongue a little bit. And that's all there was to it. It's just taking your time and just working very lightly on the way out. So there you have it. That's how you do the dragon. I hope you guys enjoyed this evening. I'm pooped. And next week we can do the Chaos Dragon, or we might be doing something else. But like I said, every Thursday we're going to try to do our painting show on Thursdays. So I always enjoy doing those. And you can see this up on Miniature Market. They'll put that up. I'll submit it tomorrow for them to take a look at, and they'll do it. And make sure, as always, to check out Review Corner. We have plenty of reviews and painting tutorials that I'm working on each and every week. That will be on my channel and Miniature Market as well. So, with that said, I want to thank you all for being here tonight. I want to thank everybody that did the super chat. Thank you, Dennis and Robert. I really appreciate that. It does help. You have no idea. We've got a lot going on. Tomorrow we are doing a live play of 1754, the French and Indian War. Mike will be here. And I'm sure we will have plenty of fun and exciting things to do along the way. So until next time, I'm Rob Orn, and I will see you guys soon.